We're here to celebrate and commemorate that. We've got some great speakers up here. The first person we've got coming up here is someone from the NEU, the biggest teachers union, I hasten to add. Biggest teachers union in Europe. Very, very valuable job there. Also a member of Mendip Trades Council. So don't forget your trades councils. Without further ado, can I introduce Robin Head?
Hi everyone, welcome again to a wonderful event. Thanks to Wales Labour Party for putting this on. Thanks to all you for coming. As Richard just said, yes, my name's Robin Head. I'm the local secretary, joint local secretary of the NEU. I'm also on the national executive of the NEU for the South West, and I'm also chair of Mendip Trades Council. We've been going just a year. We've done some tremendous work. We've got a fantastic cuts meeting up in Frome. So we're doing some fantastic work and getting the message out against anti-austerity. Yeah, a little bit of background. My great-grandmother was a Brighton May match girl. My mum and my aunt were both workplace reps. I think I can go back as far as my great-great-granddad, who I suspect was a Captain Swing rioter in Orpington in Kent. So yeah, so it goes a long way back. So you can't. This is the family business. So welcome. Okay, May Day. We've had a fantastic week of events, really. We've got today, obviously, you've got a bank holiday on Monday, but on Wednesday, on May the 1st itself, I was in Jersey organising strike action for teachers on the island who were fighting against austerity over there, against a lying government who's stuffing billions away for Brexit rainy day, and whilst at the same time cutting real terms pay. So we had 300 people, teachers in St Helier on Wednesday afternoon. Absolutely fantastic day. So yeah, this is just a number of events, and it's great to be here. So May Day. I remember May Day as a child watching it on television. The only celebrations we saw were guns and missiles going down across Red Square in Moscow. And I remember thinking, "Name, wow, you know, what's this May Day thing all about?" Even as a small child. But today, hopefully, we've been marching as well. But there's not guns and bombs. We're marching with words and deeds. And I think that's what we need to persuade everyone to think about what they're voting, when they're voting in the elections to come. Also, when I was a child, there was all that apartheid stuff going in South Africa. And I say that because today, what we've had for 9 years is that stench of austerity taking place, coming between us and causing an economic apartheid in our country where the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. We all know that. We've seen that happening for the last 9 years. On the one side we've got the many, on the other side we've got the few, and we know which side we're on. Okay, like I say, that stench of austerity has been going on now for nearly a decade. And when I first took up post, it was right in 2010 at the same time. And I made a speech in Taunton. I know not Neil Kinnock's everybody's cup of tea, but I nicked some of his speech in the Thatcher days when he said, "This is," and it was true, it's turned out true. If you're going to be affected, the people who are going to be affected by austerity are going to be the old, they're going to be the young, they're going to be women, they're going to be those with disabilities, they've got low-wage people, unwaged people, and those who are ill. That's turned out to be true. All those people continue to suffer. They're the many, they're part of the many. Those cuts to much-needed services have been savage. Our members of the public, have been caused great hassle by things like the bedroom tax and so forth, and we know that is damaging people's prosperity and people's lives. David Cameron, remember him? David Cameron? Yeah, lovely chap. Yeah, exactly. Okay, his idea was the big society. Everyone was going to come together and cut services because charities and self-help groups were going to come forward and they were going to support everyone. But then they cut money for charities and the local authorities. So that idea went out the window. What was his other mantra? Oh yeah, we're all in it together. Well, really, Dave? You know, were we all in it together? Are we in it together? No. We're here making speeches today for free because that's what we want to do. He's making speeches for hundreds of thousands of pounds all year. So are we in it all together? I don't think so. And his idea was Brexit. That was David Cameron's idea. Okay? We suffer while he earns because of Brexit. That's what's happening. He's on the dinner circuit earning money while people are suffering in our communities. Another thing that I remember as a child, drilled into me at primary school, I'm not a particularly religious person, but was the Lord's Prayer. And one line in there was, "Give us this day our daily bread." Well, it does say give us bread, not have to beg for bread. The fact that so many people in our society have to go to food banks is a stain on our society. It's a shocking disgrace. Ordinary people require shelter, medicine, education, healthcare, and proper, well-paid jobs. Or, if they can't have that, benefits that will support them. Okay? They require a quality of life which is being eroded as we speak. And the responsibility lies with the cowardly Tories. Okay? They're cowardly because on one day in December they'll vote down a massive majority against Theresa May's Brexit deal, and on the very next day they'll vote on a vote of confidence to keep her in power. That is just cowardly as far as I can see. Either she should have resigned or they should have kicked her out. But they were too shamefaced to do that. The Tories say that they're standing up for working people. I don't see any of that. I don't see, is James Heapy here today, our MP? Is he standing up for working people today? No. What about John Osman? Is he standing up for working people here today? No, he's not here either. Well, don't be too hard on poor old John. He lost another job last Thursday, which is very unfortunate, but if anyone can point him to a food bank in case he needs it, please do. And what's the Tory plan? The Tory plan is to simply stay in power, to try and stop themselves imploding. All right? Because what they're scared of is a Labour government. They are scared of a Labour government because they know it's going to split them in two. All right? But what's to be scared of? Industrial investment, better funding for schools, better funding for healthcare, better funding for housing. What's to be scared about that? Absolutely nothing, of course. Education funding we've seen in our sector has been horrific. Billions of pounds stripped out. Don't believe the Tory lies when they tell you that that funding has been supported by them and they're spending more than ever. They'll probably find you a spreadsheet where they can show you they're actually spending more money, but you've got to ask where that money's going. Schools are having to pay more money into teachers' pensions, having to pay more money for the apprentice levy. They're having to pay more money to CEOs. James Heapy doesn't believe me when I tell him that their idea about funding is completely messed up. We used to have one children's services director in Somerset when there was one employer in the schools. That's now replicated by about 8 or 9 CEOs who all get equivalent salaries. So that's where the money's going. They're saying they're spending money, they are, but it's going to all the wrong places. And schools, instead of getting free services from the local authority, they're having to pay for them in terms of consultants. It's completely nonsense. Okay, I'm the first speaker. I don't want to be too long. We've got 3 other great speakers coming as well. Thank you for coming today. Fight back for the many, not the few. Okay, thank you.